Hello, and welcome to the Youth Represent Donor Briefing. My name is Rini Fonseca Sabuni, and it is my joy to serve on the board of Youth Represent. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to learn a little bit more about this tremendous organization. When I think about Youth Represent, I think about giving hope and changing lives. Youth Represent often comes into a young person's life at one of their darkest moments. And it takes the time to give them hope, to listen, to show that someone believes them. And that is a moment that can transform lives. So thank you for being here. You are in for a treat. And with that, I will turn it over to the amazing Youth Represent staff that does this incredible work. Over to you, Mike.
Thank you, Rini, and welcome everybody. Welcome friends and supporters and our allies in our work. Many of you have supported us since the very beginning, which shockingly is like 15 years ago, and many of you are new. And so to everyone, I just want to say both a thank you and a welcome. Our mission is to ensure that young people affected by the criminal legal system are afforded every opportunity to fulfill lives of dignity, self-fulfillment, and engagement in their communities. We envision a world where the racist legal system has been dismantled and Black, Latina, and other youth of color have the power and freedom to live their full lives. We do this critical work through our community lawyering model that closely partners with community-based organizations, some of you are here today, I see, throughout the city. In a difficult year when our criminal legal system has created additional barriers for justice, you'll hear today how we've responded powerfully. So the plan for here is to hear from each of our program departments. You'll hear from our policy reform department, our strategic litigation, and also our direct legal services. This three-pronged approach makes us unique and helps us to achieve true systemic change on behalf of young people. We have started on time. We will end on time. Don't worry. If you're eating lunch, please, welcome. This is just an opportunity to get to know the staff and to hear about what we've done. So thank you all for joining. And with that, I'd love to first welcome Dale.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Hello, everybody. My name is Dale Ventura, and I am the Director of Community Legal Services at Youth Represent. Thank you all for taking the time out of, I'm sure, your busy days to be here with us. And I'm happy to share with you all some updates about our work in the Direct Legal Services Department. But before I dive into that, I want to give a brief overview about our work, especially for those who are new to Youth Represent. Here at YR, we provide comprehensive free legal representation to youth across New York. The youth we serve come from communities of color, specifically Black and Brown youth that are over-policed and overrepresented in our criminal legal system. In our work, we recognize that contact with the system, no matter how brief, can have a lasting impact. We represent youth in matters involving employment, education, housing, name and gender marker changes, family, and criminal court. And what makes us unique is that we deliver our direct services through a community lawyering model, where our attorneys connect with partner organizations all across the city. These include schools, workforce development programs, a hospital clinic, and homeless youth shelters and drop-in centers. We also provide Know Your Rights workshops to the youth we meet. We believe communities are stronger when they are armed with information and their own strengths are identified and cultivated. Now on to some of our updates. Like many other legal services organizations, we had to shift how we did our work and offer our services remotely when COVID hit. Now, despite our success in being able to continuously provide zealous advocacy to our young clients remotely, the crux of our work is centered on community. It's centered on providing youth access to legal resources, especially youth that are most hard to reach. These are youth living in shelters or have unstable housing, or are living in communities that are severely under-resourced and may not have access to consistent and reliable technology. Now that we're back in person, we are able to reestablish those connections and provide even greater access to youth. And let me tell you, it is a breath of fresh air. We are back to basics, we are back to our roots, and able to live out our community lawyering model. In the past quarter alone, we have been able to provide 24 workshops to 457 participants. We are able to once again share space with youth and reestablish our continuous physical presence amongst them. Yes, we are lawyers, we are advocates, but we are also educators. And by being back in person, we are able to have engaging, powerful, and frankly, tough conversations with youth. They have seen the brunt of the rollbacks and increased police harassment and the targeting of them. When we visit our partner sites, whether it's Getting Out, Staying Out, or the Homeless Drop-In Center at Streetworks, there's always one young person who says to us, and I really wish I met you all sooner. I would have done things so differently when I was arrested. And when I hear that, two thoughts come to mind. One, that feedback validates our presence and our work. But on the flip side, it's that harsh truth that the harm has been done. And there's a lot of long-term individual and generational trauma that lives within many of them. And I say this because it actually brings me to a new layer of support that I am very proud to be able to share with you all. As part of our legal team, we now have our first social worker at YR, who has been instrumental in helping our young people navigate not only their legal challenges, but also the socio-emotional challenges that come with having to address and repeatedly explain one's prior criminal system contact to different employers, licensed hearing officers, and other agencies. We are now able to provide a deeper and more holistic level of support to our young clients by providing them access to short-term therapeutic support and helping them navigate the many stressors that come with experiencing poverty and the stigma of the criminal record. I'm very proud of our growing legal team and the level of tenacity and care they show our young clients day in and day out. I'm excited for what's to come, and I look forward to more opportunities to engage and share space with you all. Thank you so much, everyone. And now I'm going to turn it over to Kate.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Dale. And thanks everybody for joining today and taking the time. As y'all know, the goal of our policy reform work is really related to a lot of what Dale was just talking about. It's to push for changes to the systems that target far too many Black and Brown youth with arrests, incarceration, and criminal records. And we do this through legislation. We're building a campaign for the Youth Justice and Opportunities Act, which Aaliyah, my colleague, will talk about in a minute. And we were part of the campaign to pass the Fair Chance Act, which bars employers from asking questions about criminal history on job applications. And you'll hear from Shomari later about the work that they do in strategic litigation, enforcing that law and making sure that employers actually follow it. We were one of the lead organizations in New York's campaign to raise the age of adult criminal prosecution in New York, along with some of you on this call. Since Raise the Age went into effect, we've been monitoring its implementation, first ensuring that all 16 and 17-year-olds were moved off Rikers Island immediately, and then training youth researchers to observe the newly created youth parts in adult court and in family court, and tracking the data. And last year, when Raise the Age came under attack as part of the broader backlash against criminal legal system reforms, we were able to use that data to fight the backlash and to stop rollbacks to Raise the Age. What we hear over and over from the young people that we work with is that while these reforms are important, the biggest priority is on shifting resources away from incarceration and law enforcement and into communities. And this focus sets the direction for our work, centering both decarceration and community investment. In recent years, we've supported the fight for budget justice in New York City as part of Communities United for Police Reform, and secured closures of youth detention facilities upstate, and pushed for reinvestment of funds into communities of color. The focus of our Raise the Age advocacy right now is ensuring that the funds that were allocated for Raise the Age by the legislature are allocated for implementation of Raise the Age actually get out the door into communities, not just into communities, but into the small grassroots organizations closest to young people and their families, not just to probation departments and government agencies. But one thing that is clear is that there's no youth justice without young people at the center. We've always engaged young people, involved young people in advocacy, trained young people in public speaking through our Youth Speakers Institute and our City Dreamers Advocacy Camp. But our approach now is more centered around organizing, and we were really lucky to bring Aaliyah on this year as our first campaign organizer at Youth Represent. So I'll turn it over to her to talk about the campaign that she's leading for the Youth Justice and Opportunities Act.
Thanks, Kate. So my name is Aaliyah. I'm the campaign organizer at YR. So like Kate mentioned, she spoke about Raise the Age, which was a big step forward, but it only protects young people under 18. Once someone turns 19, they are automatically prosecuted as an adult, no matter what, usually sentenced as an adult and sent to adult prison. Bigger picture, meaning thousands of young people every year, nearly all Black and Brown, are facing adult jail sentences and lifelong criminal records, rather than opportunities to make mistakes and just learn from them. We believe that no one, especially young people, should have to live with the mistake that they made while they were youth for the rest of their life. So we launched a campaign called YJNO to expand protections for young people up to the age of 25. Right now, there's a current law called youthful offender, which is a type of sentencing status a young person can get in court that can seal their record and in some cases offer them a program rather than jail time. But there are limitations to YO. So you can only get it up to your 18th birthday, and you can only get it one time upon the judge's discretion. With Youth Justice and Opportunities Act, we want to allow young people up to the age of 25 to receive this type of sentencing status, because we understand that a young person doesn't turn into an adult at the age of 18. And we also want to reflect the science that a young person's brain isn't fully developed until the age of 25 to 26 into our laws that are going to directly affect them. But YJNO, we also want to make it where you're able to get YO more than once, and we want to make it mandatory on misdemeanor cases and some felonies. But YJNO, we can create opportunities for young people to live on, making it possible for them to get jobs, apply for housing, apply for schools without a conviction attached to their name, holding them back from doing all of those things that I just listed. So we officially launched the campaign in May, and we've been doing a lot of community engagement around the campaign since then, including outreach, school supply giveaways, teachings, and tabling events to be sure that the communities that this bill is going to directly help are involved in everything that we're doing. And making sure that youth are at the forefront of this campaign has been a big priority too. So we created a youth committee recently, and we've been hosting discourse sessions with directly impacted young people and young people that just have a passion for advocacy and policy change. Right now, we've been meeting with elected officials to get their sign-ons and support for the bill so we can move forward. And we're currently organizing a rally we're looking to have in December in coalition with the Right to Remain Silent group. We'll share the flyer, and we hope to see you all there.
So now we're going to hear from Shamari. Unfortunately, Shamari is not here with us live as he's attending a nonprofit executive training program at Columbia. But we've recorded Shamari to give us an update on the strategic litigation work. And so, Monica, the magic of behind the scenes, if you could press play on the video of Shamari.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shamari Ward, and I am the Director of Litigation here at Youth Represent. A large part of my job at Youth Represent is to identify and investigate potential individual or class action cases that provide systemic changes for young people from indigent and historically oppressed communities. Since being at Youth Represent, I've had the pleasure of overseeing and vetting cases that systemically and financially benefit the young people we serve. As has been the case in the past few years, these cases stem from claims against employers whose discriminatory practices significantly harm our clients' ability to be gainfully employed. It is no mystery that our clients' lives become unnecessarily difficult without gainful employment, among other basic needs to survive post-carceration or post-system involvement. Our clients work hard every day to shake the stigma caused by their past indiscretions. We believe the cases we litigate will help to ease the pressure of reentry on our clients. It also should be noted that we aim to broaden the scope of our strategic litigation efforts beyond the bounds of employment discrimination. Just as a sort of general description, our strategic litigation practice uses laws that our policy team has championed as a mechanism for social change. Laws that aim to counter discriminatory laws that historically have oppressed under-resourced communities of color. As these discriminatory laws get rolled back and new, more fair and progressive laws replace those outdated laws, Youth Represent sees an obligation to ensure that the corporations and governmental entities with which our clients interact treat them fairly and in accordance with these updated laws. Using strategic litigation, we are able to carry out this obligation. Strategic litigation remains one of Youth Represent's most useful tools in our toolbox. As such, we plan to utilize litigation to our clients' benefit as often as possible. And this has worked wonders for our clients. For example, just in terms of specific outdates to specific outcomes. To date, Youth Represent strategic litigation has secured for clients and class members over $8 million in settlement funds, which has provided support for over 24,000 individuals wrongly discriminated against for having system involvement. I'm tremendously proud to be working for the young clients at that Youth Represent serves, and I am looking forward to getting to know you all and bringing change to the lives of the young folks we serve. Thank you.
Great. I want to say thank you, a special thank you to Shamari, to Dale, to Kate, to Aaliyah, to Rini, and then also on the back end, it's important to note, Monica and Maya. Maya is our newest Associate Director of Development, new staff member. We're very appreciative of you guys helping the back end support here. So now I want to also add that I am so deeply lucky to work alongside each of you, and I'm so proud to hear about the impact this past year. This impact can't happen. Youth Represent believes that we are instrumental, but we are not alone in this work, and this work is bigger than just us. I want to uplift. We also have partners here today. I can immediately know Make the Road New York and also Paul from the Legal Action Center. We appreciate your partnership and your support of our work, and we appreciate the work that you all do as well. Let me give a quick impact numbers of each of these different departments of Youth Represent over the past 15 years. To give a bit of context about the impact that Youth Represent has had. Our Direct Legal Services Department has represented 5,102 young people and reached 18,873 young people and their families through our Know Your Rights workshops that Dale spoke about. Our Strategic Litigation Department has secured over $8 million. That's, pause for a second, that's $8 million of money redistributed to the communities that were harmed by illegal and discriminatory actions, and represented over 15,000 clients through our innovative class action work that you heard about from Shamari. And finally, our Policy and Advocacy Department, Kate and Aaliyah, as talking today, not only helped pass Raise the Age, but is leading the charge for the next youth policy agenda, which Aaliyah spoke about, the Youth Justice and Opportunity Act. But this is just the beginning. Unfortunately, we have a long way to go, but with such an incredible group of staff, a powerful mission, and you, our incredible supporters, I'm really excited about the future and the impact that Youth Represent will have. With that, I will say, please be on the lookout for more information coming your way. We have that we're releasing in the new year. We have a really quite exciting 5-year strategic plan that we'll be releasing that really centers our work on a number of different areas and also advances our work as a youth justice and youth-centered organization. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming your way. We're just really proud to continue our work and center the lives and the voices of young people. And with that, I want to thank everybody for joining with us today. If you have any questions whatsoever, let me find, there we go. I will drop my email in the chat when I figure out the chat box. But please feel free to reach out to any of us. If you have more questions around our policy work, happy to connect you to Aaliyah, the youth team, and Kate. Any questions on our director services work, obviously Dale and our incredible staff. I see Siona and Simi are here today. We love you. Thank you for your work at YR. And also, of course, strategic litigation. If you want to learn more about litigation, again, shoot me an email. I'm happy to connect you with Shamari and some of the folks doing our litigation work. And thank you. In this season of thanks, we just so appreciate this community of supporters, of partners, of allies, and of friends and board members. And so with that, we give our appreciation and thanks to you, and thank you for joining us here today.